Like a Lifestyle back with another market recap for today, October the 28th. This is round 68 and a little bit of 67. Still rocking with Native Americans, indigenous folk. First thing first, you want to learn from who I learned from. Get the stock market playlist, 30 resources for $30. Check the merch, hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So, what happened today? Today was a good day in the market for the most part, up until the close. The market is currently, let me pull that up here. Let's pull up the SPY. Market is currently in a down-ish position, mostly because of the FANG stocks having a horrible earnings report. Apple, matter of fact, let me go here. As you can see, Apple, Starbucks, give it a second. Technology is slow. There's Apple again. You see Apple fell. SBUX. Starbucks fell. AMZN. And Amazon fell. So as we know, Amazon is a huge player in the market. So whatever happens to them happens to the market more or less. As you can see, they also fell. And I think another company fell today, but I'm not sure which. And in other news, Facebook is now officially known as Meta. So Facebook had a good morning, a good evening as well. So that's what happened. So let's go over the plays for the day. The only trade I took for today was Altria. Let me go to a 1 day, 1 hour. Okay. This is a 1 hour chart from yesterday. I took a put on Altria right at the close of business yesterday. I was away from my station for most of the day, so I didn't really have any time to make any plays. The plays I was watching did work, but of course I wasn't there to take them, so it doesn't work for me. So I looked into Altria was forming a put. So I think I got into Altria around here. Somewhere around this area, I believe. I got into Altria for a put. It was a $25 put, 45 put, $25 put for the 19th of November. So I had about a month of time before it expired. So that was Altria yesterday. This line right here is a strat exit. I'm adding a new element to my trading, is that when I follow the strat says if you have the bar you're shooting from, like you have a 2-1 setup, which is mainly what I trade, is a 2-1 setup. If you have a 2-1 setup, the 2 is the range of the move you're looking for the next 2. So the 1 picks the entry. So the entry point on the 1 is an earlier entry than the 2 because the 2 is a daily entry. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, you're going to have to learn, because I'm not going to teach it to you right now. But if you take an entry on the 1, which is normally a 4-hour entry point, that's a better entry than the 2 because you can already get a move from the 1 to the top of the 2 before it keeps on moving, so that you can take advantage of that move. So I took a put on Altria and I marked the target I was looking for from the top of the 2. Matter of fact, let me switch to a daily here so I can show it to you. Let's go right here. Here's the 2 right here. This is a 2, this is a 1. So the 2 had a top of 48.60 and a bottom of 47.75. So that's the range. So you add that range to the bottom of the 2, and that's your target for the exit of the move. So my exit for the move was 46.90. That's what I was looking for. But as you can see, 2, 1, I got in here for the opening of the move to the downside, and it gapped down past the exit in the morning. which is beautiful for me. Now, I woke up a little late today, and I always start my day in the gym. So I was in the gym at market open. So I had to make this trade on my phone. First trade I ever made on my phone. I used Thinkorswim platform. So I sold this put right at the open. Right at the bottom of the first 5 minutes, I sold the put for $50. So from 25 to 50, that's a 100% swing. Now, if you've been following me, you know I normally shoot for 30 to 50%. I usually take no more than 2 contracts. If I take 2 contracts, I sell one at 30, one at 50. If I have 3, I sell one at 70. If I have 4, I sell one at 90. That being said, I barely make it to 100 because I'm already out of the trade by then because I'm still building up my my portfolio. As you get more and more capital, you can risk longer moves and also let your moves grow more. So then when you get to the point you're taking 5 or 6 contracts, then you can catch 100%er. Because moving it up by 20s, you get to 100% as your 5th contract. So I should have already sold this contract earlier, but it opened up at a gap down. It closed yesterday at 28. The put went from 25 to 28. It went as low as 31, pulled back to 28. So it was only up 10%. But the day with the gap down, it opened up at 100. So I sold the 1 contract I had. I wish I bought more. I should have bought more. Going forward, if I only have 1 trade to make, I might just do full risk on that 1 trade. My daily risk is about 15 to 20 bucks. So for me to go full risk on this trade, I would have had to buy 5 contracts. So I would have put up 125 and I would have been up a minimum of 250 today. Now, this trade continued after I sold it. I sold it at 50. It went on to 75, 100, pulled back to 75 right here. And at the end of the day, let me go here. I think the 45 put, let's see where it closed. Watch the grid. It went as high as 123. And I sold it right here at 50. So let's go to a 5 minute. This is the options chart for that contract. I sold right here at the first 5 minutes, right at the open. And it kept on going. It went up to here, which is 101. It went up to 100. Pulled back to 64. Went back to 100. Pulled back to 88. And it went up to 120. And then it closed at 105. So the only thing I can say about this is I wish I would have bought more. And I wish I would have held it a little bit longer. But I wasn't at my station. I was happy with my move. I took the money. And this is a lesson. You can't get them all. You can't be getting into every option play looking for 100, 200, 300%, because then you'll end up losing more trades than you take. It's all about slow and consistent wins. You win 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%. And at the end of the week, you've done more than that 100% trade you might have won after losing several holding out for that percentages. So that was my 1 trade of the day. Another trade I took, I'm gonna pull this back out, is CLF. This is a YOLO put. I took a YOLO put for $4 right around here. It hasn't moved yet. We'll see what it does tomorrow. Also with XPEV, I took a YOLO put at $4 right around here. It hasn't moved yet either. This put has been as high as $8 down here, so I can get 100% move on that put. I only took 1. I probably should have took more than 1, but you know, it was more like a whatever. Tomorrow is YOLO Friday, so I may add to those positions to see what they do, or just let them die. Who knows? Who cares? I'm already green on the week, so as long as I don't make any more losses, I have a green week regardless, so who cares? And even if those 2 contracts go to 0, I still have a green week. In other news, Lucid. I took a swing on Lucid. Now, this swing was way longer than I'd like to admit. I was in Lucid for maybe since February, I think. I've been in Lucid for maybe about 7, 8 months, just holding it. I was down the entire time. I was down in Lucid the whole time. All I did was average down. I think I bought into Lucid at like 30 and just like averaged down to about 28. And granted, Lucid had ran, let me do a year chart. Lucid had ran over my price a couple times. let's say right here. So as you see right here, it ran over it. It came back down. It hit it here. It came back down and it hit it here. But I just kept holding because I wanted to get back to 65.50 like it was before. So Lucid had been consolidating around here. Like, look at this. Look at this range. 30 to 16. That's crazy. If you got in here, you down 50%. And it goes up, you down another 50%. Like, that's crazy. But today was the day it finally broke. Lucid finally did its thing, and I got out of all of my Lucid right here at 36.63. Now, what I did was I've learned from my previous trades that if it goes up, it's going to come back down over time. So I've locked myself into a win. When it opened up this high, I put a lock in at 30.63 right here. That means if it goes back here, I'm locked in. I'll make 30 bucks. And it kept going up. Then I moved my stop loss up to 33.63 around here. So now I have $60 locked in. It kept going. I moved it up here, and now I have $90 locked in. And if it would have kept going past 40, I would have moved it up here and would have had $120 locked in. But it broke up and broke down. I probably should have sold it right at the top, but I didn't really know it was going to do that. But I made sure to lock it in. I had my stop loss here. I didn't feel comfortable letting it drop $6. So I say, you know what? It's been moving a lot. I'm going to put it in right here. So I put my stop loss right there. I locked in $90 win. I'm out of that trade. It's done. I freed up a lot more capital to trade with. I have a whole $500 I could trade with now. So that can definitely exponentially increase over time. I'm slowly rebuilding my account from negatives to positives. And this is a wonderful feeling. We'll see what Lucid does. Lucid could very well win the 50 tomorrow. And I'll be like, man, I could have held it. But you never know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Sometimes you get them. Sometimes you don't. But just be grateful for what you got. I have I think it's a 30% swing, which is normally my price target in the options. So I'm happy. Now, one thing I will say with Lucid is that options are in another category. So let's say you had a $30 call on Lucid that you bought at the open. At the open, it went from 30 to 71. So it went up over 100% in the first 5 minutes. Now, granted, if I would have took that trade, I would have already been out. But if you wanted to YOLO it, like a lot of people do, that $30 then became $1,000. And this same call was 10 bucks yesterday. So that's $10 to $1,000 in 24 hours. Drug dealing doesn't even get you that kind of return. You can't rob a bank and make that kind of return. You cannot make 10,000% return in 24 hours in anything. I don't know what can do that. I'm not talking about a 10x. I'm talking about a 100x return. What can do that? Crypto, maybe. If you got into Bitcoin at the right time, that's a 100xer. If you get into some of these stocks at the right time, like if you got into the Trump SPAC at like $9, that's maybe have been not a 100x, but maybe a 20xer. But a 100xer, those don't happen all the time. A little pissed I didn't do that. I should have been researching Lucid, but I had already been in it for so long, I stopped watching. But you can't blame yourself for that. You just, you learn as you go. You keep getting better and just keep on going. So those are the trades for the day. I'm good on the week. I guess I could say I'm up over 100 on the week. Ma'am? Okay. Yes, ma'am. All right. So you guys have a wonderful day. And, yeah, that's all I got. I'm going to just keep talking for the next 15 seconds. And that'll be the end of it. So I appreciate you guys watching. And I'll be here for tomorrow for another market recap for YOLO Friday, round 69. Peace out.